So today's topics are switch case, arrays, and multidimensional arrays. Okay, so you need to pay attention today because these one are very important topics. Means anyone of you miss them, then that guys see I said that see now keep coming. So this is why your class is being disturbed. Okay, so just please join before time so that we can start on time and cover up everything that I have decided for today. Okay, so switch case array and multidimensional array, these are the one of the most important topic. Okay, we cannot imagine anything without this. Okay, so switch case, another conditional statements, decision making statements. So I will come to this, but let me tell you one thing: if else and nested if else. If just not need to write nested if else and switch case. These both are decision making statements. Means sometimes you have in a situation that whether this code should run or that code should run. Means you have choices between running of codes. Then what you need to do, you need to use if else or switch case. But what if you have multiple conditions to check? So you have if else switch case both, you can use both, you can apply multiple conditions in if else as well, but this actually slows down our execution of the program. Okay, so if you have multiple choices, then prefer switch case over if else, because switch case will fast our execution. Okay, because you have multiple conditions and directly you will jump to the particular condition. Okay, and this way this switch case will be working fast. Okay, because you not need to check multiple comparisons. Okay, just you need to check one comparison at a time. This is how the switch case is faster. Okay, so if you have multiple conditions, if you have single condition you can choose any one of them, but if you have multiple then just go for the switch case. Okay, so I will first start the switch case first today. Okay, so this is the normal syntax. Okay, this is keyword switch. Okay, and here you need to put any variable. So suppose you give here integer a is equal to 2, then this 2 will be coming over here. Okay, then case will be your. Okay, then you need to pass some case over here. Okay, this is syntax. Okay, I will come into the program as well. So this is very famous program, everybody use this, I am also using this. I just have declared a variable here integer. Okay, day is equal to 5. Okay, I will tell you multiple situations coming in this switch case. Okay, and just after explaining this, any one of you I will pick and I will ask you that tell me what will be the output. Okay, once I will jump to the Eclipse, so please pay attention. Okay, and if the efforts I am making here, you should also focus here, because you are not here to spend time, you are here to learn something. Okay, so just this one, I have declared a variable int day is equal to 5. Okay, then I have passed the variable here. Okay, now if case 1 but the case is 5, this is here you can say switch, and this is case. Okay, now the case is actually 1, but you have passed over here 5. So is it 5? No, it is 1, so it will not go inside this code part. Okay, it will not execute these three lines. It will come here, will check whether this is your code. No. This is your case. No, my case is actually 5. There is no 5 here, so it will run default, means Sunday. Okay, if in this case, in place of this case 3, suppose there was case 5, then what was it running? It was running this line, and the output was Wednesday. Okay, and after that it finds break, so it will come out of the switch case. So just like I said, for everything that you find break anywhere, come out of the loop. And loop means these braces, right, inside anywhere. If you are using if else, then there will have braces. If you are using the for loop, then there will be have braces, right? So it will come out of the loop. Loop means come out of the current block. Current block is this. Okay, someone is coming on time, so I need to just see. 7:37 it is. Okay, so this is actually uh, your switch case. Okay, now I will put some conditions over here. Okay, I will write and ask one of you, means let me erase this garbage. Why this is not coming? Okay, just leave it. One of you please tell me. I will write new. I am writing here, and any one of you who is, guys, one of you have not unmuted. Please unmute. Please mute yourself. Okay. Whosoever is unmuted, just I will write here. Oh yeah. If I will not accept it, I am guilty. Guys, please, whosoever joined, please join on time so that class flow should not be disturbed. Even those who are joining on time, let them not disturb. Okay, so please join on time. This is all around 7:40. So how I will complete these things. Okay, so please do this. Okay, anyone of you will unmute yourself and tell me what I am writing over here is just tell me the output. See, I am writing here integer day is equal to 5. Okay, just let me write here 2. Okay, and here I am writing switch case, switch day. Okay, and after that I am writing case 1. Okay, and here in case 1 I am writing something like system dot out dot println, suppose Monday, and then I am writing here break. Okay, then case 2, and I am writing here sys out means system dot out dot println, and here Tuesday. Okay, sorry for bad handwriting, and here I am not using break. Okay, and here I am writing default. Okay, and here I am writing not a day. Okay, and then I am using uh, this close bracket. So see, Just note down this point. If you are not finding any break, so it will execute other case, next case. So if I jump to this case 2, because this is actually situation, day is equal to 2. Okay, so case is, you passed here case which is value 2, it will jump to this case 2. Okay, and then it will execute this line. So output will be what? Tuesday. Okay, output will be Tuesday, but there is no break used here. Okay, break statement is not used here, so it will also run our default case and output will be not a day. So just I wanted to tell you that if you are not using the break statement, then it will running your other case as well. Okay, if you are using the break statement, it will not proceed further. Okay, so anyone of you have any doubt? Otherwise I am coming to Eclipse, explain there once more. Yeah, right answer. So here I just need to come in Eclipse, and any one of you I will pick and please answer. Okay, don't be shy. Here we are to learn, not to. Okay, so once I will ask anybody, then please tell me. Okay, this is today's day 4, right? New, and then class. Then I will use switch case example. Okay, I will declare integer day is equal to 5, suppose 2. Okay, and here switch day. Okay, and then case 1, I will print sys out control space, and then I will print here Monday. Okay, and then I will use break here. Okay, case 2, I will come here sys out Tuesday and use break here. Okay, and default. See, if you are not confused, then your concept is not clear. Okay, means don't take it that I am vice versa I am speaking. No, I am whatever I am saying as per my experience. Anybody is confused, then he is learning because he is clearing his doubts. Anyone is not confused, then of course there are some syntaxes which he don't know. Okay, then okay, sys out not a day. Okay, just learn this program and see out your output. What is your output? Tuesday. Okay, now somebody answered. Yeah, Tuesday will be printed. Okay, so why? Because I said if you have given here day 2, okay, it will directly jump to your case 2, right? And then it will print this case 2, it will print this, and of course there is a break. So I said that it will come out of the loop, and when I am saying come out of the loop, that doesn't mean for loop, while loop. Come out of the loop means these statements, these braces. Okay, in terms of, this is terminology I am using, but break throws out of the current block. This is right words that I have to use. Okay, but normally generally you will read out in practical books and in the online platforms that they are using loop. So I am also using to not get you confused, but actually it throws you out of the current block. Okay, so this is actually switch case statement. It is faster than if else, because if I have to check if day is equal to 1 or day is equal to 2, there will be multiple conditions applied. Or if you are not applying multiple conditions in the condition statement, then you have to use multiple if else. Okay, so it means that it is going to slow down your execution. Suppose for an example, what if I take any example, multiple countries are doing what they are actually, uh, suppose for an example GST. Okay, so what is done, GST actually applicable for one place, and you will just any abroad company want to start a business in India. So previously what was done, multiple places he has to go, sell tax, this tax, that tax departments, maybe more than 25 departments, they have to take permission to start businesses in India. So why companies will coming to India? So GST is now a single forum. They just have to go to GST department and they can easily start their business. Means if 3 months or 4 month task can be done within a week. Okay. So similarly here, I'm not actually praising any government or criticizing any government. This is just an example to take you out. If your execution time is slow, okay, then why you will prefer that? So similarly, if there are multiple conditions, then why I will prefer if else? Because if else will slow down my execution. This is not today's part, still I am telling you so that you can take decision while working in project, that what you have to use. Okay, and this is just an example for learning you the syntax of the if else, but here this will be not just like this program. There will be objects created between, means if this the condition, then create the object of this class, otherwise that class. So this is the way you have to work. Okay, so this will you understand just of working in project only. Nobody can tell you in a single day everything. Okay, so this is how you have to work. Now what I will do, I will put a debugger here. Okay, put a debugger here. Okay, and put a debugger here. Of course, this line and this line. Okay, debug as Java application, step by step run our program. See, no method return value, arguments return value, just step over. It came to day. Day value is 2. You can see over here. If you see, day value is what? 2. Okay, now I will step over system.out.println Tuesday. Have started recording, right? Okay, Tuesday, because it directly jumped to this one. It hasn't went here. Directly jump to your condition, but if else was going to check this. That's how it is not going to work. Okay, means if else will slow down execution. I am repeating this line because there will be a reason of repeating this to remember you. Okay, okay, so this is way it works. Now it will find the break statement and it will come out of the block. So current block was this, it came out of that. This just this is your if switch case. I'll put any conditions over here. I will remove the debugger, and of course guys, just you have learned the debugging, that doesn't mean after completing your task you will not remove them. I may be forgetting just because I am not working in my project. I am just giving you training, but if you are using you're working in your project, then please remove all debugging points wherever you have put it. Okay, so just I will run it again, and this is your output. Now what I will do, I will use a break over here. Okay, and using case 3 and system.out.println and Wednesday. Okay, now I will ask any one of you the output, and here any one of you, please don't answer here, and maybe Madhvesh, you want to tell? You are not audible. Yeah, Madhvesh. Can you try what will be the output? Okay, where is the confusion? Yeah, it will be okay. Right, because it will day is equal to 2. It will come here. It will find break. So that's why Tuesday. Okay. If there was not break, then it was coming in case 3 as well. Okay. And suppose I remove break from here, then what will be the output? Yeah, because Tuesday it will print just because of its case. Then it will go to here. That's not a break. Okay. Then it will go Wednesday, and of course here also not a break, so it will run default as well. Okay, so suppose here I have used 5. Anyone else wants to try? Yeah, yeah, default. So just because it doesn't have any case, so it will run default case, not a day. Okay, so this is your switch case. Strings are also allowed now, so you can try with the strings as well. Just string variable declare and pass here that variable. Okay, nothing new that I need to tell, that I have used this integer variable to use this string as. Okay, just try it out. This will be your assignment for switch case. Okay, if any face any problem, then let me know. Okay, okay, I have multiple questions related assignments where to submit, but guys, let me complete the git session this week only, or maybe any other day. So then I will ask you, I will send you a form, just submit your URLs regularly. Okay, and then I will see your assignments. Okay, just you are sending where to send these multiple questions coming, so this is the answer. Please complete, but once I ask, then submit. That doesn't mean you wait for me to complete git, then start completing your assignments. Okay, it will be faster execution for me to check your assignment if I'll complete that. Okay, so this is your switch case. Okay, yes, yeah, switch can only look for the caches. Yeah, Yeah, that's, you can check it out, but see, this will be not said as just for being an interview answer, this is disadvantage. Actually, this is designed for the faster execution. Okay. This is also not giving you the looping concept, so is this disadvantage? This is other concept. Okay. So this is not a disadvantage. For faster execution, if my case is this, then execute this block of code. Otherwise, this block of code means for faster execution it can implement it. And if else is, that's purpose is different. That's not related to your faster execution. That is for values comparisons. Okay. So we should not say that this is disadvantage of switch case. Okay. If we directly have multiple cases, multiple conditions, then we will not refer these else, we will refer the switch case. See, of course, but actually, you know that for each is basically most important for the classes and objects purpose. So we have not completed those oops concept means, then here if I'll explaining this, then multiple confusions will be there. I have to explain class and objects here, so that's why I have skipped that. I will do that because that's necessary for your course, so don't worry for that. So here we need to start arrays. I will use here single dimensional array. Now guys, there is a thing that, see, first of all you need to know why we are using the array and what are the arrays. Suppose I say that I have 100 people in my team and I want to store all of my employees data. Okay. So suppose I want to store, for an example, 10 people's name, 10 people's email id, 10 people password. Okay. And all of those things I want to store. So what will be the your approach? If you don't know about array, if there was no array concept implemented in Java or any programming language, forget about collections, that there will be collections. No, nothing was there. So how you are doing? Int employee id is equal to 101. Then you are declaring int employee id 2 is equal to 102. Then you will declaring int employee id 3, because variable name cannot be same, so you have to declare this way. Okay. And suppose tomorrow 100 people coming, then you are writing 100 line of code here, means for just storing the employee IDs you have to declare 100 times employee ID variable. If you want to store name as well, then string variables have to be declared 100 times. Okay. Then any project was not going to be completed before a year or 2 year 5 year. So 1 day task was actually then 100-day task. Okay. And this is only for doing things. What about maintenance, other things? Okay. So this is the, so there is a concept array which can store multiple values of same type, and same data type can store multiple values. Okay. So syntax of this is like this one. This is your data type, and here you need to declare your value employee ID, and then big brackets, and then new and type of your integer, and here you need to pass the size. Okay, there are two ways you can directly declare here values as well. Okay, but I am not going to that part today. Okay, let me complete this in this way. Okay, so just suppose I want to store 5 people data, so then I will declare size 5. Okay, when you are not sure about values, then error should be declared this way. Okay, now suppose you want to store 10 people data, then just make it 10. Tomorrow 25 people, just make it 25. So this is array size. How many values array can store? This is size of that. Okay, now if you want to get the value of employee number 5, you need to write like this: employee id means this variable. Okay, and here you need to pass, if you want to get fifth employee data, then pass here 4, because array index starts from 0. Okay, so array index starts from 0. Guys, take these screenshots, because these will be not written in your means this pdf ppt. Okay, I'll be giving this pdf to you, but this will be not written. This just please take a screenshot, make your own notes. Okay, so suppose I want to get 25th employee data, then what? Employee id 24 here. I need to pass 24. Okay, so this is how array works. Means you don't need to write 100 lines of code, because suppose for 3 employees, I take an example, then for 3 employees I am writing 3 variable different variables. Tomorrow I want to get this data, then system.out.println I have to write 3 times to get this data. Okay, so that's why this code is going to be reduced using the array. Now in terms of the answering in interviews, what is array? So array is homogeneous data type. Array stores homogeneous type of data, right? Array stores homogeneous. What does it mean? Yeah, similar type of data means that same data type should be there. Okay, and array is actually fixed in size. Here fixed in size means once you declare, you cannot change its size on runtime. Here in code you can change that, not means it is not fixed. Okay, if you are writing something in code and you cannot changing on runtime, then it means that is fixed. Okay, and if it is able, suppose 26th employee data comes tomorrow, will it store 26th employee data? No, it will throw you null array index out of bound exception, because array size was fixed. Okay, so this is single dimensional array. There is no two dimensional array, all are actually multiple dimensional array. After this I will be coming, just let me go to here. Int employee id is equal to new int, and here I am storing 5. Okay, now I am storing here 0, 1, is equal to suppose 101 and emp id is equal to 1 is equal to 102, emp id 2 is equal to 103, and please make it practice, not like me, just write full employee here. Okay, means anything you are going to do, make it complete. I am just giving you lectures, I am not following the syntax, but anyone should be able to understand what is this emp id, but just by looking at your code, not asking you. Okay, so this will be good coding practice. Okay, so if I want to print employee number 2 data, so system.out.println, and I want to print employee number 2, so this is first employee, this second employee, and this is third employee. Array index starts from 0. Okay, so just I need to print this one. Okay, so this is way how I print. Okay, now see, I have accessed this one, employee id 1, and it returned me the result. Okay, 102. Tomorrow this will be 100 employees, so will I go to write 100 system.out.println? No. So just I told you about loops. Okay, if you have to execute same code again and again, then you have loops. Why you write that code again and again, sorry. So just using for loop, int I is equal to 0. Why I am using 0 here? Because see, array index is starting from 0. Okay, so my I value will be also starting from 0. Okay, now how many values you have currently? 2, 3, sorry, 0, 1 and 2, these are 3 values. So if I make it less than 3, it will run 3 times, because it will be starting from 0, 1 and 2, 2 is less than 3. Now when value will become 3, so it will be not running for 3, so 3 times loop will run. And what values? 0, 1 and 2. Okay, now just I need to print system.out.println, and employee id I will use, and inside this, instead of passing these numbers, I will pass I, because I value is changing every time. First time I value will be 0, and here employee id 0, so it will print this. Second time I plus plus I value will be 1, it will check 1 is less than 3, yes, then it will print employee. Okay, then third time I plus plus I value is 2. Okay, 2 is less than 3, it will employee id 2. Next I plus plus 1 3, 3 is less than 3, false, it will come out of the loop. Okay, so just I need to run this program. 101, 102, 103. Okay, so this is way it's working. Okay, suppose I write here, I have given size of 5, I should give 3, because I am storing only 3 data. Okay, then also it will work. Just need to put a debugger here, one over here, one over here, and one over here. Can also give it one here. Okay, right click, debug as Java application. Okay, currently you can see nothing. Okay, then error is declared, that will not be shown here. Okay, and then employee id 1, which is id. What actually it stores in id is it has some reference where it to prefer. Okay, so how to it its own programming language syntax. You can see 000. Okay, when you will skip one step, then your size is filled by 101. Okay, this is 0 once you execute this line just like this, then 102. Okay, again, then third index data will be filled over here. Okay, so and then it will run your loop. Now see here, I value is 0. Okay, I value is 0, then it will come inside because 0 is less than 3. Okay, so it came inside. You want to execute line? Yes, then step over, it executed and printed 101. Okay, and then just like that until I value will be not false. Okay, now I see, then it came out of the loop. This is your single dimension. Have any doubt here? Then perfect. Okay, yeah, rest of the indexes will be means blank. Okay, I have not stored in those indexes will be blank over there. See, just I need to put one more. This will be blank. Okay, means this memory waste, this is memory wastage. Okay, I will, when I will start the collection topic, then I will tell you why array is actually wasting the memory. Okay, so everything will be coming but in the time. Okay, so here this is your array index. Okay, so now let me start 2D array. So there is no 2D array, sorry for these wrong words. There is no 2D array. Okay, always there is multi-dimensional array. People say 2D array, but there is no 2D array. In college learn normally single dimensional array, two dimensional array, then with their convenience they say multi-dimensional array. I can say 3-dimensional array, 4-dimensional array, 5-dimensional array, 100-dimensional array. There is no such concept like that. And today you will cross out one myth after learning this array concept. Just let me start. Whosoever missed today's session will not able to understand data provider annotation in Selenium, and I can guarantee this. He has to learn. Oh, anyone is missing this session, either watch the lectures again, otherwise multiple concept will face problem, and there I will not explain what is 2D array. So if you have any doubt, then please ask me today. Okay, otherwise after this session anytime, but before that Selenium part, clear all your Java concept. I will. Okay, keep reaching out me. Anybody has not requested any doubt session to till date. Okay, I will send you a form. Just please send your doubts. I will organize a doubt session on Sunday. Timing you guys will tell me. Okay, just I said bi-weekly Sunday doubt session. This will be your first. But if you will not ask the doubts, then guys, why wastage of time, right? Then this way. Okay. Now just wait, this is integer id role. I am declaring here these two values. That particular, if you have ever used or ever learned the database, then you will learn like this: employee ID and suppose roll number or the mobile number. Okay, then suppose employee ID is 1. Let me use 3 ones. 101. Then mobile number is suppose 9936. You can check it out with double. Okay, but I will be using integer here. You can check it out for double. Double will store your mobile number, or sorry, long, not double, long. Okay, now 102, suppose 1436. Now 103, 1 2 3 4. Suppose this is employee ID, corresponding to this employee ID, this is the roll number. Corresponding to this employee ID, this is the roll number. Corresponding to this will be the roll number. Okay, so if I want to store data in this way, then I have actually multi-dimensional array concept, because this is 2D data, right? So I'll be declaring data your array using two values. Okay, so I will declare here integer id mobile, and these two braces is equal to new int. Okay, and then suppose I want to store 3, then 3. Okay, because these are 3 values, so I have declared size 3. Okay, and then if I want to store the mobile number, the C uh, id mobile of first employee, id mobile, this is index 0, this is 1, and this is 2. Okay, similarly 0 and 1. Okay, now I have to store id of first employee. First employee index is 0. Okay, and 0. This is what? 101, because 0 and 0 is 101. Okay, then I have to store mobile number of first employee, then id mobile 0 1, and what is that? 9936. 0 and 1, 9936. Okay, there is no concept of like that. Two array means what we say, actually I forgot, matrix in say that left or right, what that we say, uh, means column and rows. There is no such concept. I am showing you your row and columns, but internally this is not like that. Internally, if you have declared array size of 3 and 3, so this is how what size of 3 and 3. This is index 0, this is index 1, this is index 2, and inside index 1 there is 0 and 1, means one array have two data. This is roll number for 0 1, right? This is roll number id, and this is mobile number, sorry, not roll number, I have written here. Okay, and this is for second employee, id and mobile number, and this is for third employee, id and mobile number. Internally array inside array. Okay, not rows and columns. You can see I have declared the array, but this is array inside array, array inside. This is your outer array, okay, and inside, see, inside this is your first array, this is your second array. Inside second employee you have two datas. This way I will prove this in code as well, but for understanding that you should know for loop, okay. If you still have confusion in for loop, then maybe you will get problem. I will try to explain, okay. Anybody has any doubt over here? Everybody got, okay. It means either I am explaining good or you are very intelligent, or both. Yeah, at this starting of this session I said this we can do this, but today just understand in one way, okay. Tomorrow I'll tell you how to do that, not tomorrow, and the next session on Friday. See now guys, you can see, just don't say anything, okay. It's actually going to end of the session in between 5 or 10 minutes, uh, just please join on time. Yeah, yeah. See, actually this is just an example, okay. Don't relate it with data types. Once you will start working in the projects, then you have to consider what this will be not the way that we are going to store employee id or mobile number, because mobile number will be actually in format of string, not in long, okay. Because that mobile number cannot be manipulated. The things which cannot be manipulated should be stored in terms of string, not in long or double. This is actually I am explaining the array concept. Don't relate it to data types, okay. Sorry, I did say mistake. Multi-dimensional. So quickly I will do one thing. Int id mobile is equal to new int 3 and 3. Anybody has any doubt, feel free to ask. Don't be shy, because if anybody everybody is understanding and you are not understanding, then doesn't matter this course for you, okay. There is no benefit for you. You please don't be shy. Anybody, don't feel shy. We are here to learn. If we know this concept, why we came here, okay. So please feel free, no hesitation should be there, okay. So actually this is tagline every faculty use, so I am also doing this, okay. So this ig mobile and 0 0 is equal to, suppose I am using 101 id mobile 0. This is for first employee, right? I explained in figure as well, is equal to 102, and then this is for first employee, and now for second. Just I will copy this and change the 1011, and mobile number should be like this, 99346. This is how it can store the maximum label. You can try with the string and double as well. So just anything. Okay. Now for third employee, 20 and 21. Okay, suppose here 102, here 103, and then anything. This is mobile. If I say just print me the data for the first employee, then just go like this and print mobile number for first employee. Okay. Just go and print 101 for first employee. If I say that print the mobile number first employee, then just go and just print this way. Here pass 1, and then this is ID for first employee, and this is mobile number for first employee. But similarly hundreds of data here, then use for loop. And now here what for loop will be used? Single or nested? Nested, because you have actually multi D array. Okay, so this is your first loop, this is your second loop. Okay, means if you want to get the access of all, changing values here 0 and 1, then here 0 and 1, sorry, 0 and 0 and 0 and 1, and here 1 and 0, then something value will be there, like simple what I need to use integer I is equal to 0, because array index start from 0. Okay, 0 0, and I is less than 3, because I have 3 data, less than 3 I plus plus. This will be for array, and this will be array inside array. So for inside for should be also there. Integer j is equal to 0, j is less than 3, and j plus plus. Okay, so this is just print employee ID and mobile number is plus, just access this variable, here print I, here print j. Okay, now see what will happen. First time this will come inside this for loop. Okay, I value is what? 0. Okay, it will match I is less than 3. Yes, I is less than 3. It will come here, j is equal to 0, j is less than 3. Yes, I value 0, j value 0. It will come inside I value 0, j value 0. So what it will print? This value. Next time it is going to increment j value will be 1, I value will be 0, it will print this data. Okay, similarly you know about the loops, how it works, so just it will run in this way. Now see, this message printed how many times? Just let me give the space over here and I will then run. This message is given one time. Okay, here first time it ran for what? It ran for I 0 0, means first time it ran for employee ID. Okay, second time again it ran for what? This mobile number. This message is printing two times. Okay, because first time I value 0, j value 0, then that, and then 0 and 1. This proves that actually there is no concept of rows and column. There is concept of only internal data structure. Okay, so here I value 0. Let me put a debugger over here. I need to put one more here. Here. Debug as Java application. What? Let me run it again. Just close it. Debug as Java application. Okay. Now there is a debugger here. These are debugging points I have put it over. I am putting blindly because I have to explain every step. But wherever you have confusion, wherever you are not getting your desired results, you have to use debugger. That this is learning phrase you can use everywhere, but in real times you, when you are facing problem anywhere you are not able to understand, just don't start debugging. First try with concepts, if not working then use debugging points. Okay, id mobile, this id is generated, then this line. Okay, just let me put this. Okay, you can see this is array, outer array, and these are array inside array. What I said, there is no rows and columns, array inside array. Okay, this is array, right? This is another array, this is another array, and these three arrays are under a big array, array inside array. Okay, just use a step over and see this one. Values are going to be declared one by one. You can see values are filling as I am assigning them. Okay, and then you can see okay, and now here just leave it out 0. Okay, and then see this is value. Okay, and here I am actually simply what debugging points you need to check it out. But here how it works, first of all for loop is running multiple time. I have explained this. Okay, so how it is going to run, see, simple steps is printing your values. Okay, if you give 2 over here and run your program, what is this, and run program, you will see array index out of bound. Okay, because for third value it is not going to print. If you give 2 here, so size should be fixed. Okay, but means if whatever you declaring and you are not getting that much, so that you will face issues over there. Okay, why this is coming. Okay, so this means what, size of array is 3 and 3 arrays inside values. Okay, now this is working. number is 3. This is printing. Now you need to figure it out. I am leaving to you. Okay, in next session I will explain why this is coming. Okay, why this is 0, you have declared, there is a misconception. Okay, 3 3, why this is coming. Okay, so this is I am leaving to you, just search in Google and on, otherwise I will tell you in next session. Also you have seen this in debugging. Once I was debugging this, one is space was black. This is simple answer for you. If you have watched this session carefully, then you will output yourself. Okay, otherwise I will be explaining. And one more concept left, that at the time of the declaration assigning the values, that's also left, then your array will be over. Okay, so keep your doubts with you, and please of course look to this point, why this is coming. Okay, then I will explain this in next session. Okay, so this is for today.